Okay, so we are pretty much finally disassembled. These are the main parts that we saw before, obviously of the main Aga internals itself. What we've actually got here is the lower burner casing, the upper burner casing, the lower cooker right hand side, and the upper cooker right hand side. Actually, when I started taking all of this apart, I took a few stills of how this assembly came off, but basically all I had to do was undo two bolts here which connected the upper burner assembly onto the edge of the upper, you can see that slot there, which corresponds with the slot on the edge of the burner, and basically just take two bolts out, very easy, they were very loose. In fact, the whole thing's been loose. Every single nut and bolt in it has been absolutely come out of dream. And then, once that was out, the upper burner assembly here could just literally be manhandled and lifted off. Once that was off, I managed to pull out the burner assembly from the lower burner housing. And again, that just literally just all sort of fell away. The whole thing actually sits on these bolts. Now they're not connected in, they're not screwed in, it just literally sits in place on them bolts. And I can't believe it doesn't actually move anywhere, to be honest. And I can understand now why Agas have to be assembled in position. You should imagine it's a bit of a right faff on to get it all lined up. This lower cooker, or lower oven, this again literally just sat on these three bolts, corresponding with the three bolts that held the lower burner and the upper burner, which just sat on the top of it. These two burners were connected by this ring, and it was full of fire paste. You can see all the remnants of it. Again, full of all this insulation, beads and insulation and everything else. Very, very messy job. The upper oven, again, this just literally all sat in place just on top of this. There's no connecting bolts, there's nothing. The whole four pieces just all literally sit next to each other and connected. It's a wonder it doesn't all fall away, actually. Okay, so that's the disassembly. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't like to put that back together. So if you are thinking of moving an Aga and doing it yourself, that's a hell of a job. That's the rear of the front plate, as you can see. The rear of the burner housing and the two oven housing doors. So that's it. So just to summary, we took the top off first. We took the four trim screw holes off. We took the long bolts out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Allowed the top piece to come off. When the top piece came off, we could then remove, I removed one of the side panels from this side, and all of this insulation poured out. I had about 7 or 8 bin bags full, so be aware it takes a hell of a lot of contain. The whole thing is packed completely tight with this insulation. I think you've seen that on some of the pictures before. Once I did that, it was basically a case of disconnecting the oil pipes for the burner, disconnecting on the back of the front plate. There was 1, 2, I think there was 3, 4, 5 screw bolts going through, literally just holding the front plate on. When that was off, the two trim pieces that went between the ovens and the front of the ovens was free just to come loose. Then it was a case of undoing these two bolts, taking the burner out, lifting the top burner off, lifting the lower burner off, and lifting the top oven off. So yeah, it's quite simple to do. It's quite heavy. Everything is very heavy and everything is engineered quite strong, if you know what I mean. There's all big cast iron and big bolts and everything else. And there's obviously, I've mentioned here, there's obviously a main base plate. But that's it. So I don't think this will be going back together personally. I think it's going to be going to the scrapyard, which is a shame really, given how much they are new and everything else. But I tried to sell this on eBay for £350, no interest, £300, no interest, £250, had one wasted bidder, they never bought it, and so I thought, well, I can't be bothered with trying to get any more. You certainly would be hard pushed to move this in one piece. These pieces are very heavy in particular, and that piece is probably the heaviest lump altogether. Okay, thanks for watching the videos. There should be some pictures as well with these, some stills that I took on the way through, but I hope this helps someone. Cheers, thanks very much, bye.